Hey everyone, and welcome back to Strategically Small. So sorry I have been missing over the last few days of the lockdown. Work got in the way, so I was not able to do the daily uploads as I would have liked, but I'm back again. We're still not over in lockdown, we're still in it. So what I will do is I'll post this video, and then after the lockdown is over, hopefully it will be over on Sunday, which is what we're praying for. I will post an update as soon as we hear the next direction in terms of if the lockdown will be extended or if it will be lifted. So we'll see, and I will keep you posted on that. All right, so today I wanted to hit on a very important topic, okay? The topic for today's video is selling or renting your home when you repatriate or when you relocate, all right? So that is today's topic. Now, when you're fully repatriating or moving back to Africa permanently, and you currently own your house either in the UK or the US, you have to make a decision on what to do with your house, okay? Should you keep it? Should you rent it out? The answer is not so black and white, okay? There's a lot of gray in there, and I'm just gonna put forth a few factors for you to consider in this video today, all right? So let's get into the scenario. So there will be two scenarios in today's video. The first one is if you own your house free and clear, meaning there's no mortgage, you're not making any payments to the bank, you own it cash, okay? Second option is when you own your house with a mortgage, okay? You're making monthly payments to the bank, and these payments are over usually 30 years or 15 years, okay? So let's get into the first scenario, okay? Now, if you own your house free and clear, there's no mortgage on it, then most likely renting it out is going to be a fantastic idea for you because it can serve as a source of income. Usually when you're abroad, especially in Africa, having US dollar sources of income is very important, okay? Because you want to be able to take advantage of that exchange between the different currencies when you convert the money over, okay? So earning US dollars, you can get a lot more local dollars as well. So it is a great idea to earn US dollars, all right? If you own your house free and clear, these are some factors I would like for you to think about, okay? Number one, are there a lot of repairs or maintenance required on the home? You want to calculate what is required to fix your home up to get it to the point so that it's ready to rent and have a tenant move in, okay? How much is that going to cost you, all right? A lot of times there are a lot of repairs, like for example, if your roof needs fixing or replacing, if you need to replace all of the appliances inside, the repairs could run you several $1,000s depending on what it is. So you want to calculate how much it's going to cost you to get the property up to speed in order to get a tenant in there, all right? Number two, hiring a property management company to look over the property is going to cost you monthly, okay? It usually is a monthly percentage that you will pay out of the rental income, all right? So I would recommend, first of all, doing your own research on Google to see what is the common monthly property management percentage for my state, my area specifically, okay? So do that research. Then you want to talk to at least 3 different property management companies to get a sense as, number one, what are they charging for their services? Number two, what services are they providing, okay? Some companies, they will do the whole thing. They will get the rental license, because you have to get a rental license before you can rent out your place. They will advertise the property for rent. They will also find a tenant, do the vetting for the tenant. They will collect the monthly rent, and then they will just send it over to you. So what exactly are they doing, and how much is that going to cost? So the reason why I recommend 3 is because you want to talk to at least 3 companies to get a sense as to, okay, this is what they said they're going to do, and compare and contrast, okay? So you can get the best bang for your buck, okay? Never just call one company and just run with them. No, you want to do your research. You want to talk to a few companies. If you want to do more than 3, by all means. The more the better, so that you can make the best informed decision for your move, okay? The next thing is you need to understand the landlord-tenant laws in your particular state, okay? Now, every state in the US is different. I'm not sure how it works in the UK, but if you're in the UK, you also need to research the landlord-tenant laws for your area, okay? So each state provides either pros and cons depending on which side you're on, okay? So for example, if you live in New York, I lived in New York for a few years, I would never want to be a landlord in New York, okay? New York, the landlord-tenant laws are skewed heavily in favor of the tenant, okay? Someone can come into your house as a tenant, they could squat there for years, and it takes so long for the court process to evict a tenant to get the tenant out. So if you're, for example, coming from New York, your house is in New York, you may not want to rent your house out just for that reason. So you need to speak with some professionals in your area that can give you some more guidance on that. However, on the flip side, there are other states that are very, very landlord friendly. So if you're living in a state and your home is located in a state that has pro-landlord laws, makes it easy for you to collect late rent, makes it easy for you to evict a tenant, then you may want to definitely move forward with renting out your place, because it's easy for you to pursue any legal remedies if you need to, in the event you need to, all right? The next thing is you want to make sure you have enough savings for your journey, okay? Now, you want to ask yourself, is the sale or the proceeds of the sale of your house something that you need in order to move over to Africa, okay? Some people need the proceeds from the sale in order to settle in Africa, whether that is they plan on buying a place cash, or they need the money for renting. If you don't have enough money to pay for your rental place, if you're gonna rent, you have to plan for at least 6 to 12 months of rent. I would put that into your budget. Some countries require 6 to 12 months up front for the rental, okay? So that's renting. If you're planning on buying, you need to research what the prices are in the area if you're planning on buying cash, okay? You have to remember, yes, you can get a mortgage in Africa, but the interest rates here are double digits, okay? So they are not single digits below 10% as they are in the US. If you're getting a loan here, it's going to be double digits. So you want to keep that in mind. Most likely, getting a loan for your house is not going to be the best use of your money. So you just want to keep that in mind, all right? You also want to ask yourself, do you have enough savings for the journey? And you want to make sure that you have enough to cover you for at least 6 months up front, okay? So these are the questions you need to weigh to figure out, should I sell the house or should I rent it out, okay? So if you have no savings and all of your money is tied up into the house, then that may be something you need to consider in terms of, should I sell the house or not, okay? So that is scenario number 1. All right, now let's move over to scenario number 2. If your house is financed, what should you consider? Okay, so if you have a mortgage on your place that you're paying back the bank monthly, you first should consider the calculations, okay? You need to calculate your projected monthly fees, okay? That includes your mortgage payment, that includes your HOA condo fees, that includes your prorated insurance, your property management fees, any fees that you would be paying monthly. You want to calculate and sum that up, okay? What is that bottom line number, okay? Then you have to then compare that number with how much you can get in rental for your place if you put it on the market, okay? So let's just take an example. Let's say that all of your fees run, I don't know, $1,500, right? But you can only get $1,250 on the market for the size house, and based on the running market rates for rent, that clearly is an indication that you are not going to be making a good decision if you proceed with renting out your place, because every month you're going to be coming out of pocket, you're going to be at a deficit in order to keep renting that place, okay? So that's number one. You want to make all those calculations, run all the numbers, okay? Number two, if you do have some profit after running all of the numbers, after all of your monthly expenses are added up, then you need to calculate what threshold amount you're looking for in terms of your profit, okay? So the reason why you want to do this is you need to understand that your place is not always going to be occupied. Number one, there will be some vacancies. And also, even if there's a tenant in there, it doesn't mean that your tenant is always going to pay, okay? So you have to account for months where you will not be getting any income, all right? So for example, let's say, let's use the same example. If your fees are $1,500, and let's just do reverse, and let's say you can rent out your place for $1,650, right? So your profit every month is $150, okay? So is $150 enough for you to hold on to the property? So in that scenario, if you are not able to collect rent, let's say for 1 month, 2 months, even 3 months, will you be able to financially cover the cost if your profit is only $150 every month? Okay, let's take a look at that example. If your profit is $150 and you can divide $1,500 by $150, okay? We're dividing $1,500 because that is your monthly expenses, okay, that you have to pay every single month. It will take you at least 10 months just to cover 1 month of vacancy, because that is what is required, the $1,500 every single month. So based on those calculations, if you know that you need at least, let's say $500 profit every month in order to cover any potential vacancies in the future, then you want to stick to that $500 number, okay? So then if you run the numbers and it's only coming out to $150 a month, that already is an indication that's telling you that, okay, financially, I will not be able to cover any vacancies at this profit level, okay? So I'm not saying your profit should be $500, I'm just using that as an example so that you can figure out if there are any vacancies, how much is it going to cost me? How much do I have in savings, so that you can make an informed decision. Next, you want to think about how much equity do you have in the property, okay? Hopefully your property is not underwater, so you don't have any negative equity, but let's say you only have a very small amount of equity. You want to ask yourself, is it actually worth it to hang on to the property, or should I just go ahead and sell it and use the proceeds to build my life, start afresh in Africa? So that's something to consider as well. And the last point here again is similar to if you own it cash, you also need to understand the landlord-tenant laws in your state, okay? Even if you own it cash or if you're owning it via mortgage, the laws are still going to affect your decision if it's not skewed in your favor, okay? So you want to check all of these points. So yeah, I think those are all the factors that I would like to put forward for you to consider. Definitely the decision to either sell or rent your house is not a light decision, and I think it's one that you should definitely consult a few professionals on. There are some realtors in your area, also some attorneys in your area that can advise you on the landlord-tenant laws and how it works, but you want to have all the information so that you can make an informed decision and not one that is made hastily that would end up being the wrong decision further down the line, all right? So I'm not trying to sway you either way, I'm just presenting points for you to consider, all right? So remember, I will be posting an update in the next couple of days after we get the guidelines on the next steps for the lockdown. I hope you all have a blessed one. I'll see you later. Bye.